So let's get into the Will Smith assault and the Will Smith apology. So it's taken me a second to do this video because I've obviously wanted to hear, both sides of the coin regarding when is it the right time to A, stand up for your wife, B, when is it the right time to resort to physical violence. I'm not going to dive too much into that because I think the coin is split. I think we can all agree that you don't have to respond with any sort of physical act of violence. And I think we can also agree, depending on the situation, if you feel like violence is warranted because you're defending someone, we can't really judge someone until we're in that actual person's shoes. So I'm not going to get into whether he should have did the slap, not did the slap. I think for this video, it's important for me to highlight the fact that no one is focusing on the fact that a woman was verbally assaulted and humiliated by Chris Rock, number one. And number two, Chris Rock has yet to apologize. Leading to my next point, at least Will Smith has apologized, right? He's apologized. He said that he was triggered. And I think he's also apologized because he hates that the slap now is kind of putting a shadow or forecasting a shadow over the actual accomplishment of his movie, his fellow actors in the movie. He's apologizing that the slap has created that. But I still don't think he's actually apologizing for standing up for his wife, and nor should he. I think until you're married and your spouse is humiliated or attacked, you don't know how you'll respond in that moment. Which leads me to my third point. There's some history behind Will Smith, right, and Chris Rock. He made fun of Jada Pinkett in 2016 for not being invited to the Oscars, so how dare her boycott them, right? So there was already some history there, and there's also some domestic violence history with Will Smith that, if you don't know, he spoke about this openly in his book, his biopic that he wrote, that his mother was physically attacked by his father, was abused by his father, and he felt like he never could jump in and save her. And so for him to witness Jada, again, being attacked, I think in that moment he was triggered, and this was the one time he decided he was going to jump in and actually do something. My fourth point is specifically going to Chris Rock's awareness of Jada's alopecia condition. First of all, she's been very open about it, and outside of Hollywood, he is a long-term friend and colleague of his, so I doubt he didn't know that she had alopecia. But furthermore, Chris Rock actually is aware of the alopecia condition because he talked about it in his controversial Good Hair documentary about Black women and their hair. So to say he doesn't understand alopecia, the particular effects of how it would affect a Black woman and her hair, since we consider our hair part of our beauty, is bullshit. My fifth point is, and as it relates to the law, because this is why you're here, is that, what are the next steps in terms of the fallout legally or even with the Oscar board in terms of what his will has done. Right now, they're saying they're investigating it, and that investigation could include consideration in terms of taking his Oscar away. I also call bull on that as well, because there are several people, including Harvey Weinstein, Casey Affleck, William Hurt, Woody Allen, rapists, pedophiles. None of their Oscars have been taken away. So I don't think the Oscars at this point is going to set a precedent of Will, again, in the moment, defending his wife, slapping someone as a reason to take his Oscar away. Finally, in terms of the actual law, of course, LAPD has to investigate all assaults, batteries that happen in their county. I think they've seen the tape. They were actually on the premise when it happened. There were no arrests made because Chris Rock isn't pressing any charges. So legally, unless a prosecutor is going to press charges against Will Smith, which he could do without Chris Rock's input, there is no case. I think we're going to move on from this. Should Will Smith have slapped him? Maybe, maybe not. But should he have publicly corrected Chris Rock for disrespecting his wife? Absolutely. Also, something to think about Why would Chris Rock use the biggest moment of Will Smith's acting career? The man is 50 years old. He's waited 50 years to get an Oscar. Why would he do this on the biggest moment of his life, humiliate his wife right in front of him? It's giving jealous. And for those of you saying, well, he didn't write the joke, it doesn't matter whether he wrote the joke. He had the discretion whether to say the joke or not, and he chose to do it anyway. Also, as my shirt is indicating, let's be a little more compassionate, shall we?